What's going on YouTube? Q back here again with another video for you. In today's video, I'm finna tell you all what it's like to own a 2024 Acura Integra Type S. So if you're first time visiting the channel, this is my second Integra. I had a 2023 Integra A-Spec technology package, 6-speed manual, and then I sold that and bought one of these 2024 Acura Integra Type S. There are a lot of similarities between the two cars, and if you haven't watched the video, I compared the A-Spec to the Type S, but I'm about to get into what it's like to own this thing. So if you're looking for one of these, you might be waiting on the list or waiting for the prices to come down because some of these are marked up. Thankfully, I was able to get mine for MSRP. So my Integra is almost fully loaded, so I got the optional copper wheels on there, carbon fiber mirrors, blacked out badges, illuminated stuff in the front, illuminated door sills, carbon fiber spoiler, pretty much everything that you could get on this Integra I got on it. I have taken this thing to the track and I have used it as a daily driver. So what is it like to own this thing? It's been a pleasure so far. That's to sum it up lightly. It's been a pleasure to own one of these, but I'm about to get into more details in just a second here. Before I get into it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, browse the channel. Let's jump into it. And just before I get into the meat and potatoes in this, I'd like to give a shout out to the men of culture. We got 100 Gang Nate, Blueprint 1LE, and Race Car Friends. Go check out their channels in the feature section on my channel. So this car is in a competitive class. There are a lot of cars that it has as rivals in this group, but this is the one that I ultimately ended up with. And for good reason too. So this car is like the perfect balance. So it offers so many things. You got luxury, performance, comfort, space, practicality. I think this is the best packaged car. Is it the best price car? No, I don't think so. But it is still it offers a compelling package. So owning this car, I do not get a ton of attention, which I don't expect for the area I'm in. I'm in the Motor City, and we idolize muscle cars here. But this car is like subtle. It's like a subtle flex almost, like subtle arrogance. It's just, everything about it is so subtle because you wouldn't believe how this thing performs. Like, it looks really aggressive, and we got these hips that poke out. But other than that, it's just like a normal looking, attractive, emphasis on attractive, just a good looking car. So let me get into a couple flaws that I haven't pointed out before. And I noticed this on my other, well, not my other Integra, but another Integra at the dealership when I took delivery. So we got a couple quality issues on this thing. Let me show you what I mean, because this is probably an American car thing. I doubt you would find this on the Civic because people were saying that JDM cars are built different, and they are. But I believe these are built at high quality too. But American manufacturers, they are known to not having top-notch quality. And let me show you these things, because a couple of my other cars had it, especially my GT350. So let's get to the first one. So the first issue that I see with the Integra Type S is, if you look up close, and pictures you will never notice, but in video I'll look at it, like these panel gaps, this doesn't line up perfectly. It's a little off. So if you can tell, like towards the bottom is closer, it doesn't line up. And this thing hasn't been in an accident, it just doesn't line up as good as it should. So with the front bumper being misaligned like that, it kind of looks like this car has been in a slight accident and it's been repaired. But it hasn't. It's a clean car. I bought it brand new. So it kind of doesn't line up at the seams. And if you look at it from a certain angle, it just looks a little bit off. And it's the slightest lineup, but I can notice it. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but it's just ever so slight. Let's see about the other side. Like, yeah, you can tell over here, if you look down on here, like this part is slightly lower. So the front bumper clip is like a millimeter or two higher than this quarter panel right here. So I don't like that. Quality issues with the alignment. It looks good in pictures, but up close you can tell. And then we got another problem on here, and I didn't notice this till I got it detailed. So if you come down here, what it looks like is we got a goop of dirt or mud or something. But when my car was sparkling clean, you will notice, let me lick my finger, wipe that off. That is not dirt at all. As you can see, I'm wiping the dirt away. That's like a over goop of clear coat. So I need to talk to them about that, because it's just stained on my side skirt right here. It's just the overflow of it. It's just gooped up on there. I need that removed ASAP, so they can probably sand it down and buff it out. But yeah, that quality. So other than that, those are the two flaws that I see so far, is the front bumper alignment and that overspray of clear coat, whatever that may be. But I need to get that checked out. When I go to the dealership, I'll bring it to their attention. I doubt they'll be able to do anything about the alignment of this front bumper, but I'll see what they can do about that clear coat. So I'm not too worried about either of them, but that's something they should be able to fix as far as the clear coat goes. And another thing I noticed, it's all starting to come back to me now. So when I first got the car, I got the dealer installed accessories that just came on this car. I had to take them. So it was a wire that was exposed. Let's check on that now. So we got the illuminated Type S badge right here. And as you can tell, my wire is still slightly exposed. So once I go to the dealership, I'll see if they can tuck that in some more or do something with it, because you shouldn't be able to see that whatsoever. And it's ever so subtle, but the water definitely gets over in here, and I step on this running board, so I don't need that exposed. And that's clearly a wire right there, so I need that to get fixed. Q is starting to remember things now. So another thing with owning this is it came with these carbon fiber mirror caps, and I don't know why they don't match up exactly to my Integra Type S, but let me show you what I'm talking about. These are the stock ones, and if you look at it, they started not to install them. Actually, when I took delivery of the car, these were not installed. They installed them while I was doing the paperwork. But if you look at it from this angle, it's like the white metallic or platinum, whatever the name of this paint color is, this is exposed just for this little piece. And it fits on fine. I just don't know why this wouldn't be covered up as well. So they thought that was an issue. I don't know if it is or not. If you got these carbon fiber mirror caps, let me know if yours is exposed, your body color is exposed on here. I don't think it should be, but that didn't bother me. That bothered the sales manager though, the service manager. He pointed that out to me. So I told him to put it on anyway, because I couldn't get money off for not installing them. So why not? Okay, that's the last of the bad right there. So what it's been like owning so far, it's been a joy. Took it to the track, phenomenal car on the track. And then I found a new love for this car recently. As I showed y'all in the next video, like why people rag on front wheel drive, I finally had to shift my mindset to be able to drive this car as it should be driven. So it's not meant to be pushed hard off the line, like 0 to 60s, that's not what this car is about. Pushing hard, like in the beginning of a corner, it's not meant for that. But once you push hard on the exit, that's where it really shines at. Moving the momentum of the car through a turn or a curve, that's where it's meant to shine at. And once I shifted my mindset to that, I've been enjoying this car a whole lot more. So I've been driving this more than the GR Corolla, and you know how much I love that car. But this car is also on that same level of fun once I had to wrap my mind around it. And speaking of wrap, I gotta wrap my wheels and some new tires, because you see I got a skull cap on, so now I'm waking up to 30-40 degree mornings, 50 degree highs for the days. Winter's approaching here. I'm in Michigan, so I got to get some tires for my stock set of wheels. These are the copper. I got the what are they, graphite, whatever those are. So I'm going to go with some all seasons on here, not dedicated winter tires. I've always had all seasons on my front wheel drive cars, and 300 horsepower might be a bit much on here to handle, but I can't do it with the summer tires on, like absolutely not. Because once they get cold, they get hard. And I'm already losing grip because it's like 50 degrees out here. And look at this tread. It's like line. It's like no grooves in here whatsoever, really. So this is a Michelin Pilot 4S. So this is meant for the track. That's where those tires shine at the track. They're good for daily driving too, but in the wintertime, I got to get something else. So that's what I'm going to do shortly here. So I'm going for all seasons. So I know the cost of ownership will be lower compared to its competitors in this class. So the number one thing is that it's got a reliable engine. And speaking of the engine, the gas mileage isn't too bad. I'm getting like lower 20s, which is good for how I drive it. But it's not going to be a huge expense. The other Integra I had, the A-Spec, was much better on gas mileage. But the consumables on here are not that expensive. Like a square set of tires is going to cost me around between $800 to $1,200 depending on what brand I go with. So I haven't made up my mind yet, but I'm looking at them, and that's not going to be too bad. The service on these things are actually free for 2 years, And since it's an Acura, these things aren't really prone to many problems at all. So even if I did have to pay for oil changes and tire rotations, that's not going to cost a whole lot anyways. But they got me covered. Any service for 2 years, I'm covered. And I do not know how they classify this as a compact, because this car got so much space. It's so practical. So owning this car on a day-to-day basis is really great. And then this is a car that people want to jump into. Like if I'm at work, people would like to get into this car for lunchtime because it's a nice looking car. It's a luxury car. They don't know the difference. They don't know it's a clone Civic. But it just looks great, fits well in any occasion. I can wear a suit in this thing. I can go to the gym in this thing. Like, it just fits in so well. And people won't look at me crazy like as if I was driving something, what do people judge me in? Like my Camaro, I got judged in a whole lot. Especially the Mustang got judged. But this car is less of a judgment zone. And they might think too much of me, like I make too much money. Don't be thinking that, y'all. Stay out my pocket. I can even fit people in the back seat without having to adjust my seat. Pardon the mess in here. I got the kids in here, which is also good for that. But I don't have to adjust these seats. Only 3 extra people can ride with me. That's a bummer because the middle seat is taken out, but I don't want that many people in my car anyway. And then when it comes to this back here, y'all already know how much space we got in the trunk back here. I got ample cargo space back here. There's nothing that won't fit back here that I wouldn't expect to go back here. Like large boxes, and if I need to, I'll just take this cover off if I need the ample space. So I do got that slope back, so I'll lose a bit of ceiling there, but I really haven't had a struggle closing the trunk back there. All right, so let's go for a quick drive in here. Now I hope you got a chiropractor if you own one of these, because these seats are a little bit rough, but they get the job done. They're not that supportive, so I don't like that about the car, but something you learn to live with it. I drive it as a cruiser. As on my daily commute, I use it in comfort mode sometimes, which is, I would never do that in a lot of cars, but it's so comfortable. So let me pull a couple stunts real quick. I'm about to drive it in sport mode now as I kick up all the rocks into my paint with all the extra clear coat on it. Picking up a ton of rocks. So if you do get one of these and you plan on keeping it long term, I would definitely consider doing PPF. Mine doesn't have PPF on it, but it would be a great investment to have. This thing can pick up a ton of rocks with these stock tires. But this car is quick. It's not fast off the line, but it's quick enough off the line. Y'all know this ain't no muscle car, but it does flex. And I can hit these curves harder than any other car. Got my suspension in stiff mode. That was a little jarring right there. But yeah, it's good. It definitely handles. It does get a little squirrely on uneven pavement sometimes. And it doesn't help that my tires are cold right now. But it moves. She moves. And I know some people wonder about the sound deadening on these. It's not bad at all to me. Like, road noise is never crossed my mind. Like, if I didn't see other reviews, I wouldn't know people were complaining about that. So I always had my music on, except for making these videos. And the sound system is so good in here. It is extremely good. Like, that's when I want to bang some music, I'm driving this car hands down, because music is such a great experience in here. It's much better in here. Like, if I want to test out a song, test out some bass, this car is the ticket right here. And I spoke about the exterior looks. The interior looks good too. Some things, like, it does have this ambient lighting that y'all can see now. But this lighting is only one color. It's only white. That's kind of boring. But I wish it did have more customization in that regard. But on the interior, it does a lot of things. Like on road trips, the car drives itself, and it does that really well. So that's why I was saying earlier, this is a good one-car solution to do it all. And if I had to choose between my 2 cars in my garage, this and the GR Corolla, this would have to be the one to stay, because this is a car that I need. Like I said, the A-Spec Integra, I didn't intend on making videos with that car. I just needed a regular car, because I kind of outgrew my coupes with my family, because it's small and cramped in there. My kids are growing, and I can't be having my seat all the way up here because I got a kid behind me. So I needed a practical, regular car that's economical, reliable, first of all, and this thing looks good as well. So this ticked all those boxes, and this one has the performance. The A-Spec Integra, I did want to do more power-wise, but this went ahead and just knocked it out the park with the power. It added all the power, so that's good. It's cured the rev hang. I noticed in the 24 there's no software glitches really, just that one time I experienced. And in my A-Spec Integra, I noticed dozens with the next times of software glitches in this infotainment system. But they fixed something in here clearly, because I don't see it at all anymore. In the suspension, if I just want to ride in comfort mode, like, it is so smooth in here. It's even smoother than the A-Spec. So if I just want a serene ride, go to comfort mode, I just put it in individual mode. Oops. And the dampening is noticeable on here. Like in the A-Spec, I couldn't tell a whole lot difference between the suspension settings, but on here it goes from like very firm to like cloud. This road is really messed up, so I'm not like bouncing all over the place looking like I'm humping the air, but in here I'm just like, I'm cool, I'm chilling. The Integra Type S, it just feels good to drive in all kinds of different situations, and that's why I like this as the daily driver. It just does most driving situations exceptionally well. And then like the shifter, y'all already know how the shifter is in these things. Like just the driving engagement, the driving feel. This is the driver's car, and it has luxury in it too. It's not a true luxury car, let's not get that twisted, but this is, if you want a regular, very nice car, I'll call it near luxury. It does have some luxury touches, but you can tell it's a Civic in some parts. Yeah, that's hard plastic right where my knee goes, but it's an excellent car, man. So that's what it's like on the 2024 Acura Integra Type S. So I gotta get on home so I can get ready for this NBA draft, doing fantasy basketball. So gotta draft my team. I got 15 minutes. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Hope you were able to learn something. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, browse the channel, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.